Big overture. Little show.
I am the Dark Lord of Nightmares, the bringer of terror. Tremble before me. Fear me.
He's so cute.
Tremble.
Who's a little fear demon? Come on. Who's a little fear demon?
Don't
I bring
taunt
the
the fear
terror.
demon.
Hello there, welcome back to the channel. This is Nerd World with my dog trotting around in the background. Pretty much as usual, house kind of a mess. Anyway, this is the latest installment in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer Demons series, and this time we are looking at Gachnar, the Demon of Fear. Before we get started, please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below with any demons you would like covering or anything else from the greater universes of science fiction and television that you want me to do a breakdown on. With all that out of the way, let's get started on the story of Gachnar. Gachnar, or Gachnars, we'll get to that, were a classification of demon that was summoned via a ritual from another demonic dimension. Their very presence would affect reality around them and cause your worst, deepest, darkest fears to manifest. One such demon was inadvertently summoned during a Halloween party, during the preparations for which a mark of Gachnar was painted on the floor, as the boys who were doing it simply thought it was a cool mark. But when some of Oz's blood, remember Oz being a werewolf, that's always a thing that affects other things, this accidentally caused Gachnar to be summoned. The house and the reality around it began to be affected. Rooms would move, the doors would disappear, and people began to see their worst, deepest, darkest fears made flesh in one form or another. Now, the Scooby Gang would also be affected by this, and one person would also be killed. Giles would come to the rescue, cutting his way into the house with a chainsaw, only for the hole that he had made to disappear right behind him as he cut his way through the building, eventually reaching Buffy and the other Scoobies to tell them that he believed that this was Gachnar, or he would realize it was Gachnar. And while he was attempting to explain the situation to Buffy, explaining to her that the mark of Gachnar, if destroyed, to which she would then proceed to stomp through it and destroy it in an effort to undo the mayhem that was going on around them, this would actually summon the demon and bring him forth and make him manifest into our reality. To which he began to rise, screaming and wailing upon his arrival, taunting the Scoobies to basically bow before him as the Demon of Fear. The self-styled Demon of Fear, it would seem, as the Scooby Gang would proceed to mock Gachnar for his itty-bitty little size and general demonic cuteness. He would then meet a squishy end under the foot of Buffy, as the demon itself physically was not particularly a great threat, although its power did come from its magical effects on reality and on the mind, not to mention creepy little demon. This would not be the last time that Gachnar would appear, or a Gachnar, as I said, Gachnars. Gachnar is both singular and plural, meaning that they're actually a full species of demon, not just one individual. Now, although the actual size of the demon was only about 6 inches high, he was very threatening, and a group of witches were attempting to use his power to create fear and then create more power for themselves during tours of a house that was a massacre scene, actually done by Angelus. Angelus, or rather Angel, and Fred were visiting Ireland at the time where the witches were, and they would visit the house, uncover their plot and their attempt to use Gachnar, and would thwart them, upon which time the witches would try to harness the unusual power emanating from Illyria, Fred, to power themselves, make themselves even stronger, unwittingly actually not just pulling the power of Illyria, but actually releasing Illyria upon them, who would then proceed to rip them to pieces. Now that's in the canon comics, which are follow-ons from the show. And in case you can hear it, that is my 2 dogs play fighting in the background, just in case the microphone's picking that wonderful noise up. Now, with all that said, that is the story of Gachnar. Gachnars, whatever the plural would be if it is just singular plural. Anyway, yeah. Great episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, also one of the ones where we discover that Anya is nuts and is afraid of bunnies, which is why she comes dressed as a bunny rabbit to a Halloween party. Because she thinks they're terrifying. Can't say I disagree. Now, if you remember the episode, give me a like, tell me what you loved about it, and were you aware of the secondary story from the comics, as well as like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and check out my other videos in this playlist, which hopefully will be linked somewhere. It's probably actually linked at the beginning of the video, but there'll be a playlist linked to the other videos in the Buffy series I've done so far. And with all that said, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching, and bye-bye.